Hello friends, I'm Dr. Schulze, and this week I have 3 letters, but they're short, and they're all about the bowel, almost similar, but different. So let's get going. Dear Dr. Schulze, in 2006 I found out I had cancer of the rectum. After chemotherapy and radiation treatments, they removed my rectum and my anus in 2007. Ouch! Ow! I still have discharge of waste from my permanent stoma several times a day, but it's like having non-stop diarrhea. Do you have any suggestions that might help with my situation? It's been going on for 6 years. Well, I have a suggestion for anybody that's considering an ileostomy or a colostomy. Don't do it, because this is what happens. He said that they just removed his rectum and his anus and that he has a stoma. But I have suspicions here that they also performed an ileostomy or removal of his entire colon. Because when you have a stoma and you have a bag on it and it's coming out totally liquid, that means it isn't going through your large intestine. The feces isn't being dehydrated and it's just coming out like applesauce for the rest of your life. Do you have any suggestions that might help with my situation? It's been going on for 6 years. Yeah, I have some suggestions. I mean, you've had 6 years ago, you had a horrendous surgery, and I read this for people that are possibly thinking about having it, and read my bowel book, and you'll read about a young woman that killed herself after having this surgery. But yes, the herbal mucil or the intestinal formula number 2, but probably for you, William, the herbal mucil to help coagulate those bowel movements. And, that's what I suggest. The next letter from Sharon in Kona, Hawaii. Dear Dr. Schulze, I just read an article about prolonged use of Cascara sagrada, and now I'm extremely worried. I've been on your formula number 1 for 6 months, and I read your book stating that it's okay to stay on this formula indefinitely. Have I harmed my system? Did I misunderstand you? I'm scared as how to wean myself off the formula. I've been taking 1 a day and have noticed that my bowels are very loose. I guess I didn't recognize the symptoms. Please give me advice on how I can hopefully correct my problem. Okay, you can find an article out there about anything and scare yourself if that's what you want to do. When I see articles like this, I throw them away. I read articles that promote what my inner voice says is true and correct. Okay, first of all, if your bowels are loose, I'm confused. Why would you be taking intestinal formula number 1? If it's not broken, don't fix it. Okay? Also, 40,000 people are dead a year in America, and Hawaii's America, from bowel cancer. I don't know anybody dead from taking Cascara sagrada. So my biggest concern is that people are dying, and millions of Americans have bowel disease. In fact, the most recent Merck manual says that every single American, if they live long enough before they die, will have polyps or ulcers or some type of bowel disease, diverticulosis, diverticulitis. Every American, bowel disease. How many are dying from taking Cascara sagrada? How many are dying from bowel disease? 40,000. How many get it? Everybody. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that equation, and I wouldn't worry about prolonged use. I've had patients that are still alive that have been on that formula for 35 years. Okay? No worries at all. The worry is not going to the bathroom. Not the scarier. You know what the American Indians called Cascara sagrada? Sacred bark. They weren't worried about using it. But if you're having loose stools, you shouldn't be using it. Okay, let's move on. Ruth, Las Vegas, Nevada. First, I commend you on all your treatment remedies. Thank you, Ruth. My question is, do you have anything for ulcerative colitis? My 14-year-old daughter has this condition and is currently taking 25 different pills. Oh, God, probably causing worse ulcerative colitis. She is now low on iron, malnourished, and constantly tired due to all this constant medication. It would be nice to be able to give her a good meal. I would appreciate any suggestions. Well, first of all, I wonder what you mean by a good meal. If it's what I mean for a good meal, right there, Mom, I'm right there with you. Get her off the iron. Iron can cause intestinal inflammation and diarrhea, especially inorganic prescribed iron. You don't want to do that. And get her off these pills and medications. You can fix her in 30 days. Intestinal formula number 2, make her take it every day in the powder form. She's 14 years old. If she follows this for 30 days, it'll change her life. And make sure she doesn't consume anything that is bad for her, that could burn her intestines, upset her digestion. I'm talking about pretty much everything an American 14-year-old will consume. She needs to give me 30 days. Ruth, your daughter needs to give me 30 days on high-quality fruits and vegetables in a vegan food program. No animal products at all, no sodas, no junk food, none. Okay? And that's what I mean by a good meal. And at the same time, get her on intestinal formula number 2. She needs to make a black milkshake 5 times a day, and it's going to put the fire out, and she's no longer going to have ulcerative colitis.